Welcome back to the Big Three. Obviously, as you can see, we've got Mitchell in the background. We've just done a bit of the Europa League roundup, and I'm here to talk about the preview for the game at the weekend. Again, 5:30 kick-off on Saturday. Arsenal at home at the Emirates Stadium to the newly promoted Fulham, who have been putting in some good grinding results so far this season. Obviously, with the 2-2 draw at Craven Cottage against Liverpool. That's one of the big results they've got. Obviously, they did Brentford last weekend, 3-2 in a 5-goal thriller. But Arsenal, 9 points from 9. I'm looking to make it 12 from 12 at home. Just to kick it off, I'm going to go with what I think the predicted lineup should be for this coming game. And for me, if something's not broken, it don't need fixing. So, in goal, Aaron Ramsdale. Been playing quite good, but obviously he's had a few patches where he's done some dodgy stuff already. So I want that ironed out early doors before we get that massive month in October and September against the likes of City, Tottenham. We've got quite a few hard games on the road there. So Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Right back, I don't know. I like Ben White at right back, but I just think Tomiyasu will allow Saka to just play more freely going forward, because obviously we've seen a lot coming down the left-hand side with the new link-up of Martinelli and Jesus and obviously Zinchenko. But it'll be nice to see the star boy get back into his form, start attacking the goal more, pushing down to the byline and getting some dangerous crosses in. I think Ben White being a makeshift right-back don't offer that kind of overlap as an option to distract the left-back from Saka like Tomiyasu does. But I think for the sake of keeping Tomiyasu safe and not risking injury, if he's not 100% fit, Ben White's the man for me. The centre-back pairing that is developing to become world-class in my eyes, to be honest. William Saliba, obviously, he's got one man in the match performance so far. That first game against Palace away from home at Selhurst. Then obviously he had that own goal against Leicester. But that can shake a lot of players up, especially with how young he is. But he's done a job. He's got himself back together and he scored an absolute worldie against Bournemouth. So it just shows you the man is using that much confidence. Little things like that aren't going to not going to knock him at all. And he's playing alongside the machine Gabriel at centre back. He looked a bit shaky at Bournemouth. I think playing alongside Saliba calmed him down a little bit, but he was making some irrational decisions and leaving Saliba one-on-one with certain players. It's a good thing Kiefer Moore's got no pace, to be honest. But yeah, them two at centre-back again. And left-back, it's Alexander Zinchenko. This man, since coming to the club, has offered so much down that left-hand side. And I'm going to go into what he does a little bit later on after I've done the predicted lineup, but you can already see it's bringing a lot of fruition to the team, and I'm really happy at the minute, so we'll keep that going like that. Two in midfield, obviously, Xhaka, he's coming to a world of his own. Obviously, I absolutely despise the guy because of what he did to the club, throwing the armband on the floor and all of that, and falling out with the fans. We watched the All or Nothing documentary. We can see what it means to him to play at Arsenal. What it means to him to play football as well in general. So it's good to see him finally putting performances in. Hopefully he's not going to get suspended anytime soon, because he looks like he's calmed down a little bit with rash tackles and stuff like that. So he's been interesting to watch. He's put in a few good performances. I think he's got 1 goal, 1 assist so far this season, which is obviously for Xhaka, that's good numbers. So keeping him. Thomas Partey, again, I think he's had 2 world-class games already this season out of 3. Linking up on that right-hand side with the likes of Saka and Ben White. But, them two in the holding department. And then in front of them, it's the captain, Martin Odegaard. Obviously, scored that brace at Bournemouth the other day, last week, on Saturday. So hopefully we can get a few more goals coming from him. It shows what happens when he advances towards the edge of the area or in the box and starts letting shots go. I said this in my player ratings a couple of weeks ago. This man needs to let loose some more. If he lets loose, he scores goals. And what happens? A couple of weeks later, 2 in the back of the net against Bournemouth. I know what I'm on about. So let's just get it done, Martin, and get them fucking goals going, because we need them. We need to get Champions League this season at least. Out on the left-hand side, it's the Brazilian Gabriel Martinelli. This lad, the first game he had with Gabby Jesus, it was like a flipping a school talent show. It was just show me what you can do, and he absolutely ran the show with Jesus that game, and it was just a joy to watch. Obviously, we brought him in as a youngster, quite like we're doing with Marquinhos now, and Arteta, he's decided to keep him in the team. Obviously, there was and ahhing about sending him out on loan to begin with, but they kept him, developed him, and he's becoming a right little superstar. So we're keeping that man. He's got the tenacity to want to play. He's got the tenacity to win the ball back, high press, which is exactly what Arteta wants. So, yeah. Out on the right-hand side, it's the star boy, Bukayo. I've heard a rumour the other day that he's played around about 50 games on the bounce for Arsenal, and obviously he's got his England games as well, but he's played 50-odd games on the bounce. So I think with the Europa League fast approaching, and obviously we just kicked off the FL Cup, so hopefully we could try and get someone in who we've been linked with. I'll talk about him just shortly, to get a few games under the belt and give Saka some recovery time, because he's not having time to rest, recuperate. So, but for now, Saka's the man out on that right-hand side. And up front, I don't think I need to say much about this man. He had an absolute worldie against Leicester. Four goal contributions in one game. He's had 2 assists, 2 goals in that game. Scored at Palace. I think he's got 4 goals so far this season, which is outrageous. Should have scored again at Bournemouth, but it is what it is. Slightly offside. It was similar to the Rashford decision that got given, but we won't talk about Man U and the form they get. But yeah, that's my starting 11, and I'm going to drift into just how we the style of play we're playing. So when we're on the attack, we can see that Zinchenko falls into the midfield line and creates like a flat back 3 and a 4 in midfield. And then Odegaard and Xhaka are then pushed on even further. We've seen Xhaka in and around the boxes alongside Odegaard, which is it's quality. It's coming. He's scored goal already, and it's nice to see him attacking the ball, playing forward. Zinchenko he obviously plays in that midfield role for Ukraine, and that's how Pep used to use him quite a lot. He used to just put him into the midfield and bring the back line ever so slightly round to the left to cover that. And when he's bombing forward, Martinelli's just got the legs to fill in. Xhaka can fill in. Partey can fill in. So it just shows you what we've got going forward. Defensively, you see Arteta make the change for Zinchenko for Tierney. So once we've gone to 2-3 goals up, Arteta's then bringing Zinchenko off, giving him the respite he needs for the next game, and bringing Tierney on. Obviously, we know Tierney isn't quite as clinical going forward and getting the balls in the box and stuff, but defensively, the young man is almost faultless sometimes. But yeah, it's good to see the way we're playing. Obviously, like I said, with Zinchenko going forward, that pushes Xhaka further forward. And Xhaka and Partey are forming quite a very good, formidable partnership. I think after the AFCON last year, that was when Partey started to come into a world of his own. He got that red card. Things went a little bit sideways at Arsenal. And then we had that few run of games. And Partey, since then, seemed to have brought his game on a hell of a lot. Because if I was to rate his games before that at Arsenal, I would have been giving him 4 out of 10 maximum. But now I think he's sitting around the 7 and 8 mark quite consistently this season. So it's good to see that our midfield, where we were struggling for years, is starting to develop. Obviously, we had quite a few problems at the back. We had Holding playing, Chambers playing, we had Monreal, Bellerin. It's just, they're the few names off the top of my head that shouldn't be at Arsenal Football Club to begin with. But it's how it goes, unfortunately, when your club's in a bit of turmoil. And again, you got Martinelli cuts in on his right foot, had a few shots. He scored 1 or 2. I think he scored that header at the back post against Palace. Saka the same, but obviously we're waiting for him to just, as soon as he clicks, mate, he'll be firing on all cylinders like he was last season. But it's a matter of when this young boy clicks. And Jesus, yeah, when he's on the ball, he's damaging to teams. He can pass the ball through the lines. His hold-up play is second to none. He's very, very strong for the size he is, and he causes defenders a lot of problems. And this is where Martinelli and Saka should be getting goals, is because he holds up the ball with his back to the defenders, and he can lay it off to the likes of Odegaard, who can play the ball through the lines and then straight in behind. Not only that, we saw it against Johnny Evans. He turned him inside out, but it was Ndidi who got back just in time to put a last-ditch tackle in. But it shows you what he can do with his back to goal, as well as being able to face it and score like he is doing so far. And off the ball as well, he just drags defenders out of the way. Because he's so dangerous on the ball, he will move to receive a pass, and the centre-back, like 2 people will clock the run and move at the same time, and he just opens up bags of space for the player to drift into, get a shot off, play the ball, whatever's best at the time. But I think that happened twice for Odegaard, because he's just actually got the ball and he was kind of losing control of it and went to go and turn and shoot, but Odegaard came through with that authority of captain and said, listen, this is mine, and just went, put his foot through it and scored. So it shows you what Jesus is doing to teams. He's stretching them out and he's making spaces in the gaps. So it's good to watch. But yeah, that's the lineups and how we're playing. And there's something I really want to touch on. We've not done many transfer window like videos for Arsenal because the window's coming towards a close. But we've done some good business this summer. Started to offload a few more players. Obviously, Pepe's just gone out on loan to Nice. He turned down the move to Leicester. Pardon me. Turned down that move to Leicester because he said he wanted to play in the French league again. And with that departure, we are closely linked with a young talent who I'm such a very big fan of. Obviously, being Portuguese as well, it makes it even better. But we've been linked with Wolves' young man, Pedro Neto. You can see the talent this young boy's got. Obviously, just coming back from that ligament injury that he had in his knee. He was out for about 8 months. Just starting to come back into it. But you can see on and off the ball, he just wants to be involved in the game 24/7. He wants to carry the ball, pick the ball up, get the team moving forward. And I think someone like that, young 21, 22-year-old, would be a good push for Saka to get him that little bit further in terms of progression and put a little bit of pressure on him. Obviously, pressure, he had that penalty in the big competition for England, and it didn't shake him. He got back, straight back to the Arsenal camp and started scoring goals for fun. So we've seen what a little bit of pressure can do to the young man. So hopefully we can get Pedro Neto in and start shaping into a very good team. Obviously, all them players that have gone out, we're getting players in, but we're on the watch list for financial fair play as well. So we need to be careful for that one. We don't want to be going to OTT and getting ourselves in a bit of trouble. But happy where things are at the minute in the Arsenal camp. Obviously, maximum points in the Premier League. EFL Cup's just started, the first round just a couple of days ago, so that will be kicking off soon. And then we've got the Europa League draw that we've already just done. So looking forward to it all. My score prediction going into that game against Fulham: Arsenal 3, Fulham 0. I want another clean sheet. Obviously, we know Ramsdale loves a clean sheet. And we're starting to play some good football on the attack. I think if we're attacking often enough, we can cause enough problems for Fulham at the back that the attacking side of the game just gets absolutely eliminated for them. So hopefully a big 3-0 win at home, 12 points out of 12 going into, I think we've got Villa after that. And then the one after that is our first big test. We've got Manchester United at Old Trafford. But we'll get into them games afterwards. Thank you guys ever so much for tuning in. And that's my roundup for the game this weekend against Fulham at 5:30. Make sure you guys watch it and let us know what you think to the game.